All Ball TV.
They scared, but I'm not.
They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.
Oh, I didn't even hit the mic button. I'm so Fabian perspective. Kidding me? Salute. Will, what's going on? All Ball TV family there. Mr. Moss, salute to you, my brother. Oh, we got to change the background because it's not just about being uptown. We're taking the train. You see the train in the background. We riding around New York City and we get to the garden. You see that? You see that? Huh? I can move myself out of the way. You can see the garden. You can see the garden. Huh? Who do you know with a better background? Let's keep it official. Who do you know with a better background than this? Riding around the city, huh? Passing the garden. I think they got to be going uptown. So that's going up 7th. No, you go down 7th, go up 6th or 8th. That's definitely 8th Avenue because old Dwayne Reed was right there. Peace to the chat. What's going on, everybody? Yo, salute. Jorge, what's going on? See the garden right there. Montgomery, Alabama checking in. That's what's up, my brother. Duco. That's my new favorite name. Ricky G, what's going on, my brother? I was sleeping. Yeah, today was the Puerto Rican Day parade. Shout out to the Body. Huh? They were all the way up 8th Avenue, uptown. Not me. I was knocked out. I don't do the Puerto Rican Day parade. You kidding me? I seen too much violence. I don't care what they tell you. Shout out to my Body. Shout out to all the Latinos. Boricua, Morena, right? Huh? Let's get into it. How's everybody feeling? Breeze, what's going on, Breeze? Everybody in the building. And his favorite perspective. And of course, we had some news that we got to get to because Knicks news is what it is. It's always something going around. That's right, Tuco. ¡Huepa! ¡Que viva Puerto Rico! Did I say that, Mad Body? Somebody said in the comments. Puerto Rico. Rico. Puerto Rican, listen, Puerto Ricans have like this sort of accent, but the way they talk that's ill. Especially when you go to PR. Rico. I can't even do it. It sounds like a catastrophe. My peoples in the building. Think we lining up our guys. What's going on next? Of course, the rumor mill with the new Nueva York Knickerbockers. Oh, we heard the sound. They say I get around. Oh, wait a minute. How'd you just pop up like that? What? Oh, wait a minute. You can't just pop up. I can't even introduce you anymore? Huh?
Big Flea. Never the little one.
Huh? Huh?
Big Flea. Never the little one.
Huh?
Yo, man. Fellas, what up?
Play the drop again. Big Flea. Never the little one.
Wow. Can y'all hear? Can y'all hear
we
me?
live?
Big Flea. Never the little one.
Yeah. Yeah.
We
yeah,
have a
they
drop,
in the
ladies and
building.
gentlemen.
Wow.
They in the building. That's a different kind of energy.
We have a drop. OG,
Hold
we
on.
got a drop.
Am I
It's lit.
jealous?
Are we
Am I a little
live?
jealous?
Big fling.
You got the drop.
Never the little one. We got a drop, OG.
He said, "Am I jealous?"
Nah.
Old boy had the original drop.
Yeah, my man got the drop on y'all. That's what I'm talking about. Fleeno Brown is in the building, live
I'm in the
the
building.
flesh.
What up? What up? What up?
Yeah.
Hold on, old boy. So should we just give you all boy TV?
They scared, but I'm not.
They don't like. Should we give you your voice when you do that? Then
No,
They scared.
no.
Keep it as
Listen,
is.
my brother deserved everything
Are we
beautiful
live?
in his life.
Big
That's
fling.
right.
Never the
That's
little
right.
one.
That's what I'm talking about.
You already
Yeah.
know.
Good drop.
It's like clue.
Clue. Yeah.
That's all that's missing.
Yeah. That's all we need is bombs, right?
That's right.
Let's get to it. Let's go,
What-
Well.
They remember everything you said. We're All Ball TV family. You see the icon next to his name. Hey,
Yes,
like,
sir.
share, comment, subscribe. If you're on a PC, on a computer, you can join us, the All Ball TV membership. We're really a family. Like Will, you see him, you see the icon, you see the logo looks a little different in the comments. That blue star, woohoo, woohoo.
Love it. We love it. We love it.
Cat could potentially will be. Oh, we'll get into Cat in a second, Chrissy.
No. Hold on a second. Before we start.
Uh-oh.
My OG is in the building. We need to pay homage to what he's doing right now. People not paying attention to what OG is doing right now. Y'all need to start paying attention. He's outside every weekend, y'all. He's out. Hold on. He's outside every weekend amongst the people on the sidelines at these games in the flesh. So if you think that this is just some internet, it's not. He's outside touching the people. He's on the sideline watching the game, getting in tune with what's going on today. So I said before we started today, I was like, hold on. I see what's going on. Every weekend, it's another tournament. It's another spot. He was in Brooklyn this last weekend. He's in LES this weekend. We don't know where he's going to be next weekend. So I just need everybody to pay attention to what my OG is doing right now. Big salute, OG. I love what you. I see what you're doing. If nobody else does, I need to say I see what's going on.
Appreciate you, my brother. Always. Listen, man. One thing we always say: ain't nobody else gonna give us props. We gonna give ourselves the props we deserve. So. You know me, man. Humble. Thank you, my brother. Always.
Always. You know that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, don't make him blush too much. You know, all boy be like, nah, man, chill. Give him his damn flowers. That's right. Remind him what he's doing. Tell him we watching you, all boy. All boy, listen, all boy. Even though he's known for being the basketball chismoso, Flea is definitely the bochinchero because he knows what's going on. Where's going? If you are doing something outside, Flea has seen you. He has seen you. Yeah.
I'm everywhere. I see.
We were just talking about the Puerto Rican Day Parade. Shout out to the Bordies. I was talking about their accents, a little bit different, a little bit harsher than Dominicans. Jorge said, "Yeah, we do have a different accent. No lie. That's what made my wife fall in love with me was my Puerto Rican accent." Oh, get that, Jorge.
Man,
listen.
He said it wasn't my good looks.
We used to listen. We used to look forward to that first weekend of June every year, baby. Listen, we jump right on the E train from the Queens.
Lord have mercy.
Right up there quickly.
Lord have mercy.
Around to move around.
The good old days.
Woo.
Let's get started.
Let's get to it. Shout out to the boys. Shout out to all the Latinos.
Time out.
Hey, Fleet, back in them days, it was nothing but J-Lo's walking around that thing.
It was
Lord
great.
have mercy.
Like people don't understand. How it was back then. My layout looking different. Things looking different. Oh, we're gonna talk offline. My layout is looking different.
He gotta drop it.
Let's get it started because I can tell y'all fleas are instigated and this thing will go left.
Hold on. Is that a stocking cap?
You don't even know what's on my head right now. Chill. Just relax.
Get it in order. Let's go, man.
I'm trying to know. I'm a little intimidated. Anybody with glass in a You got you be dipping into your 2000s R&B bag. Last
You
week,
gotta.
hold on. Last week it was Jagged Edge. Today you got the Joe look 5'4". Yeah,
Shit.
5'6'3". What's going on?
My OG said I had the flap out the other morning, looking like Gusto. It was it was
They did.
it was nasty.
We were just talking about the Puerto Rican Day Parade.
Uh-huh.
And let's talk about this allegedly, this Latino who's on his way to the New York Knickerbockers. According to Insider.
That's your man. Y'all have the y'all share the same descent.
That's why I'm a little bit even more disgusted as we continue on. According to NBA insider Sean Devaney of Heavy Sports, the New York Knicks are 100% expected to pursue Karl Anthony Towns if the Minnesota Timberwolves make him available this offseason. If it was a fifth, we'd all be twisted. Jesus Christ. Do I want to go into the article? I don't know. Because I'm already disgusted at the headline.
Why
Sorry, guys.
Why you disgusted?
You know why. You know why. Because we've been going back and forth about this forever. Real quick. NBA insider Sean Devaney of Heavy Sports says the Knicks are 100% expected to pursue Karl Anthony Towns if he's available. Yo, stop playing with me, man. The internets. You want everything to be a damn advertisement? The Timberwolves signed Towns to a 4 years, $221 million extension. That was in 2022. Karl Anthony Towns will make $49 million next season. That's a 5-year, $204 million extension off of last off season. And Goldberg, of course, he made 5 years. He's on a 5-year, $205 million extension. Knicks president Leon Rose used to be Towns' agent when he ran CAA. Towns was born and raised in Edison, New Jersey. Knicks coach Tom Thibodeau, who was expected to sign an extension this offseason, coached Towns on the Timberwolves. For four-time All-Star, Towns has averaged 22.9 points per game, 10.8 rebounds, 3 assists, 8 steals, 1.3 blocks. So basically, he averaged 23 and 11 since he came out to the league. Fellas, all ball.
Hold. What is his field goal from 2-point and 3-point?
For his career?
However you want to call it, for last season, for whatever. For last season. You big on those numbers, don't duck that smoke. Yeah.
It's below 50%. I know that much for his field goal percentage, and his 3-point percentage is right around 40%. I'll look it up now.
Yeah. Flea, you see your man, right?
Ain't nobody ducking up no smoke.
Listen,
I'm
gonna let him get through this so we can have a conversation about this.
Thank you, Flea, for someone showing some damn courtcy this afternoon.
I'm gonna let him get
late
through it
evening.
so we could talk about this, OG, because we need to talk about this.
Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about this.
For his career, he shoots basically 40% from 3, and he's actually shooting 52% from the field. Last year, he shot 50% the year before. But yeah, 50% for his whole career.
And what is he from the free throw line?
Over
80, 83, basically 84%.
Okay, yep. So 84 from free throw, 50 from the field, 40 from 3. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Yeah, let's
go. Obviously, you have hyped off these stats, stat man. What do you feel about Karl Anthony Towns being rumored to come to the New York Knicks?
Well, for me, we've spoken about this last year. People laughed at me. My thing is this: just can y'all answer just real quick, and then I'll finish my soliloquy. Yeah, I know what's going on. Is Karl Anthony Towns a better basketball player than Julius Randle? Just yes or no?
No.
Flea?
Yes.
Thank you. Once again, what I never understood is why would you not go get a better player? Miss me with he's soft, miss me with all of that. Yeah, he shoots too many threes. But you know what? In today's game, that's what the game is. Let me give you a prime example. Kristaps Porzingis. Everybody itted on him. He's not a great defender. He's not a super duper shot blocker, even though he definitely protects the rim. He doesn't go in the post as much. All he wants to do is shoot threes and middies. And where's he at right now? Karl Anthony Towns will have that same effect on our New York Knicks. Miss me with he's soft, miss me with all of that. He's a better basketball player than Julius Randle. And if you get him with our Knicks, now with Brunson being the leader that he is, and with guys like Josh Hart and DiVincenzo my opinion, he would be a totally different basketball player. He would buy in, and like I said, look at those numbers: 80 from the free throw line, 50 from the field, 40 from 3-point. How do we not need that? I don't understand. I take my personal route. I don't know him personally. Don't care to know him personally. All I know is he's a better basketball player than Julius Randle. He will come to our Knicks, and that will be a definite upgrade, and we will be title contention off the rip. You kidding me? Him, Hart, DiVincenzo, OG, and Brunson. That's starting five? Are you kidding me? With dudes coming off the bench and whatever else we gonna do, you still got Mitch? Nah, listen, man. I love y'all my brothers. I don't know what y'all want us to do. If we have a chance to upgrade, why would we not upgrade? Please give me the problem with Karl Anthony Towns. Because for one, in Minnesota, he's not being coached correctly. That coach is not a good head coach. Miss me with that. They don't know what they're doing over there. And if he comes to the Knicks, he will not be putting up all those 3-point shots. Tibbs is going to have him in a post. Tibbs is going to make him tougher. And I guarantee you, he's going to play better defense. So for me, I love it. You get a chance to upgrade. Cat makes us a title contending team off the rip. And we seeing it with Porzingis. It's the same exact situation. We don't have the talent like Boston. I'm not saying that. But what Porzingis did for Boston is what Cat would do for our Knicks. So for me, y'all too, as much as I love y'all can go to hell if y'all don't love us. Because I love it. I've been saying this forever. So love y'all. Y'all can have the floor, but I love this move. And I think we need to go for it. Straight up.
He has been consistent. He has been disgusting me with this Cat conversation for over a year, and I've been consistent too. Hell to the Nizzo. Fleazy. What do you think about what All Ball just said? Because I'm disgusted with it.
Listen, I'm consistent. Y'all know what we built this year, we need to continue to build on, right? It's all about fit. It's all about upgrading, though. So I think you got to be real strategic and careful on who you decide to bring into this culture. Now, let's not forget, Cat has played for Tibbs before. Cat is a guy that needs to be motivated. The caveat was that Jimmy Butler was there and he was kicking Cat in the ass that entire season to drag them to the playoffs that year. That was Cat's first time in the playoffs, was under Tibbs, and he had Jimmy Butler right next to him, right? So he understands what it is to play for Tibbs. But I promise you that one of the players that was on that anonymous voting list that did not want to play for Tibbs, I promise you Cat is on that list. He does not want to play for that dude. So what I'm saying is that, yes, I would love to have him and his abilities, his talent, what he brings to the game. But I don't think he wants to come here and actually do what's necessary to actually be, a winner. Like, I'm not saying he's not a winning player. I'm saying that it's going to take a lot for him to adjust to what we do here. Your talent is going to be your talent. You could go all other 29 teams in the league. Your talent is your talent. We're not saying nothing about that. But what it's going to take for us to get over that hump, OG, like for what it's going to take for us to contend with Boston, for what it's going to take to contend with Philly, what it's going to take to contend with Milwaukee, like call it what you want. We got to be able to contend with those teams. I like Cat a lot, but I would be very, very concerned about bringing him in. Like if you're saying over Julius Randle, bringing him in, he's more talented. Yes, 100%. But is he going to come and fight every single night? I don't want to have to motivate him all the time. At this point in his career, 10 years in, I should not have to do that for you. So, I know I'll probably surprise you, Fabian, because I'm not all the way far left with it or no, but I just don't think he has what it takes to really play for us in what we do. We scrap, we defend, we sacrifice a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna come and what he's doing in Minnesota, I loved it. I think I've told y'all that. I love how he's actually taking a backseat and really understand, like, yo, Anthony Edwards is the guy. I just have to be here to support this dude. If he can bring that attitude, I would love it. But I think he would struggle doing that.
So just real quick, Fabi, can I ask Flea a question? What do we say is also a skill set? Availability. He plays. So for me, that's a big. He plays.
Most recently, he struggled with that though.
Okay, cool. But I'm just saying, unless he's injured, he plays. And
to your point, old ball, he's gotten injured, but I like the way he has come back from the injuries.
Mhm.
I'll give you that.
And also just one last thing. He's a different. Is it possible that he can have a different mindset from 4 years ago? Maybe how he felt and how he was 4 years ago. Maybe he's a changed man at this time. Maybe he wouldn't mind playing for Tibbs. Maybe he needs a leader like Brunson to push him to make him be the great player that he needs to be. And also, we need a player like that to go up against a Milwaukee, a Boston, a Philly. We need a scoring big man. So whether you like Cat or not, give me another big man that we can possibly get that's offensively skilled. Because we not going nowhere with Hartenstein and Mitch as far as offensively.
But my problem with Cat and what we saw in the Western Conference Finals is that is great, OG. We just looked at the numbers. He's a damn near 40% three-point shooter on the career, right? So that's amazing. But the fact of the matter is that you are still 7 feet. You still have an advantage on the court most times. The fact that you don't resort to taking advantage of your matchup as opposed to hunting three-pointers bothers me about his game. So if he ever decided to be as dominant as he was in year 1, 2, 3, 4, when he was 25 and 12 a night, like when he was 25 and 12 a night, he was different. This dude that we're looking at right now that likes to roam around the perimeter, that likes to hunt the three-point shot, that is not the same rebounder that he was at one time, I don't like that guy. I want the guy that we watched coming into this league and, you know what I'm saying, be that dominant player in the post. You couldn't do nothing with him and clean up the glass. He could be that effective. Yes, having the ability to stretch the floor, that's what we need. I agree with you. But I also need him to understand that he needs to take advantage of the matchup sometimes and go in there and go get 2 points in the block. Take advantage of it. You're that good. I don't think we need to tell him that. When Randall sees a mismatch, he has no problem going to the block and saying, yo, give me the basketball. Oh, yo, I'm going to put you on my hip. He hunts the three too much for me. And I think he thinks that makes him a superior player. And that's not going to fly for us.
Totally agree, Will. Why are we all giving up on an All-NBA player who's 25, 10, and 5 and an All-Star? Obviously, to your point, you give up on a guy like that, or not give up on them. You upgrade when you see it. Like we can't overlook that ever. Not gonna say that because you know how I was on Julius Randle the last couple of years until this season. What we saw against every team in January was a different Julius Randle because OG Anunoby got here and opened everything up, including the Minnesota Timberwolves and Karl Anthony Towns. Karl Anthony Towns had a great first half. He had a pretty good game against us, but Julius Randle was running amok against them. He took every matchup, especially against McDaniels, Cat, and Anthony Edwards. He didn't care who was out there, and that was opened up because of the team that we have. I've never seen Cat look like that. I don't care what y'all say. Even at his peak, whatever it is, I've never liked his game. I always thought I love his potential. I've loved his potential. I thought him and Anthony Davis were going to run this league. 7-footers who could play any position, defend any position. But he hasn't lived up to it. He can't even finish with his right hand going with his left hand going left, bro. I've seen it. I know his game. He settles way too much.
He was just in the conference finals.
No, they were just in the conference finals. He's a third or fourth option, and he made himself that way. He did that.
He's a third or fourth option on Minnesota?
Correct. He does that to himself, bro. He takes himself out of the game. Like
you
said.
Saying that because you don't like him personally. He's not no third or fourth option on
bro,
Minnesota.
What don't I like about him personally?
Stop.
What is there about
you don't like his game, but you like Julius Randle game. His game is terrible when you look at it.
No, when did I start liking Julius Randle's game? See what I'm saying? Like if they're conference finalists and I don't like it, and I still don't like your game. He's part of the reason why they lost to the Mavericks. A huge part because he didn't take advantage of his mismatches. He's a big reason why.
Wow. Okay.
Of course. Where if he's not the third, didn't make himself a third option. Where was he the first 4 or 5 games
They beat the
against the
defending
Mavericks?
champs in the MVP 4 straight. Does he get credit for that?
Of course, because he showed up.
But that's the potential that he played. That's what he played like, and then he reverted back to something different in the series that I thought he could take advantage of 2 guys that I don't think could guard him. Lively or Gafford could not guard that dude, but I think he let them off the hook by allowing them to, play with him on the perimeter. He could have been way more effective had he taken advantage of those matchups. I don't know. I just don't. I like what Julius Randle has become before the injury. I like it. That's why I was so disappointed when he got hurt. If we remember, in that stretch, we played some of the best basketball in the league with Julius, OG, and Brunson as our core, and we was rocking and rolling. We were unbeatable at one point. So I don't want to sell on Julius just yet, but if the question is, would I be mad at Cat? I would not be terribly mad at it, but I think I'm fine where we at right now.
And if you're gonna ask who would you rather have with that skill set, his teammate, Naz Reid. Whatever you looking for to give up, no, let's get a little less. And I want Naz Reid over here. Naz Reid is he's gonna give you just as much as Karl Anthony Towns on offense sometimes, but defensively, he's a different kind of guy. No, he doesn't have the talent level as Karl Anthony Towns, but Naz Reid has been. He was the part of the missing piece for Minnesota Timberwolves, going from winning 1 game in the first round versus the Nuggets to reverse sweeping them in the second round of the playoffs this season. That's who was a big part of this 50, 40, 90 just as well. And you were missing Jaden McDaniels that series as well, too. But you can't tell me you'd rather go after a $60 million player who doesn't play like he's worth $60 million and trade our guy who's shown that he can play with this exact team that we're looking for. That kind of doesn't make sense to me. That ain't personal. It ain't never personal. Not with me.
Bruh, the first thing you say when we talk about Cat is, I don't like Cat. Stop, man. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
So it's
I don't like his game. His game. I ain't talking about him personally.
So he was one of the main reasons why they won that 1 game in the conference finals. Oh, are we going to forget that?
Yeah. Okay.
That's it, though, right? Yeah. Okay. That's it, right?
But if you're that inconsistent, and before I forget, Flea, they did squash their beef, right? Like him and Tibbs were going back and forth. He might have been one of the 46% of the people in the NBA that voted against Tibbs as a coach that he would rather play for, right? So, but this article goes into that. How Karl Anthony Towns and Tom Thibodeau are officially at peace with each other. They have different
Whoa.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Excuse
me, I'm sorry. That was a
Yo, what kind of games do we play?
41. I'm 41.
Yo, go ahead, read what you got to read. What's going on, man?
Tibbs said he's as gifted as they come. Speaking about Karl Anthony Towns, and I forgot what was it 2 grown men got together, had a conversation. It was done years ago. So they're saying this happened years ago. But so to Flea's point though, like it was done years ago. What was done years ago? What was done years ago? A coach that's trying to get you to play, and a coach that got you into the playoffs. Your only playoff appearance before Ant-Man got there was with Jimmy Butler. How many times, if he's the first option you claim him to be, how many times has he been in the playoffs as the first option?
I never said, for one, never heard come on my mouth polls that he was the first option. I never said that. All I'm saying is you cannot pass up on a play like that if you can get him. As we see what the league is, you need a big man that can stretch the floor, straight up and down. We don't have that. That's going to be trouble. I have nothing personal against Julius Randle, but if I can get a better player, then I'm going for it. So just like people say in the chat, all NBA and all-star, it's not right. Cat is the same thing, but he's 7 foot and he shoots better from the field on everything. I'm not arguing with that. I think putting him around Hart, DiVincenzo, and Brunson will definitely toughen him up, that leadership, and he will be a legit second option. And I think a guy like that, Minnesota, to me, he may be a little, it might have messed with his psyche. Yeah, he may be a little soft-skinned and things of that nature. Cool, you are who you are. But I think now what the Knicks has built with this culture and a guy like Brunson, I think he will fall in line. And now you have him as a second legit option. He's going to get the field goals he need. He can put up his shots. Listen, I think it's a no-brainer. I'm sorry. I think it's a no-brainer. Flea is big on this, and I love when Flea says this. I think Julius Randle hit his ceiling. I don't think he can get better. I don't think he can get better.
So let me ask you this. You think Cat can get better?
Yes. I think Cat can turn into... Now, hold on. I think Cat can turn into a better defender. I think
he showed that he's capable of being that.
Right.
In that Denver series, he showed that he's capable of actually being the defender he needs to be at his size. The things that he did against Joker to maintain him. We're not talking about stopping a 3-time MVP, but we're talking about being able to maintain. He looks better, so he has the capabilities. That's what I'm saying. I know he has the capabilities, but is he going to do that on a night in, night out basis? Can we rely on him? I feel like we've got to a place where we can rely on Julius, and he fits to what we're doing. I hear what you're saying, OG. The dude shoots from the field better, shoots from 3 better, shoots from the free throw line better. So, I mean, he must be better, right? I'm just big on, does it fit? Does it make sense? Everybody's mixing, matching, and putting this guy on this team and that team and this team and that team. It don't work. Okay, now we got to break down the roster and figure it out again. Like you always say, we at a spot where we can make one move and go this way, or we can make one move and go back and digress. So I just want us to be careful on what we do. Get the poll going, Fabian.
Well,
Cat
for me,
or Julius Randle. Let's throw it in the chat.
And for me,
I'm 41.
I'm that
was crazy.
I'm gonna just keep repeating the example of Porzingis to Boston. I've been saying it. I said he's going to be the most important piece. People laughed at me, and once again, remember he's injury prone. He's soft. He takes too many threes. But look what he did for that Boston Celtics team, and now they are in the finals. My opinion. Cat will have that same effect with our Knicks. Just imagine if Hartenstein or Mitchell Robinson had some type of offense. It could average at least 15. I'm not even saying they got to average 20. Just imagine if those guys can, night in, night out, be some type of a threat and average at least 15. We will be a totally different ball club. It will be us right now in the finals. That is a fact. So for me, I just love that example of, people kind of wasn't really going crazy as far as of course the real basketball minds understood that move, but a lot of, like you said, people flee that they just watch the game and don't understand what Porzingis did for Boston. I think Cat would do that for our Knicks.
He's a game changer for Boston. Clearly, obviously through the season they win 64 games, and now y'all watching what he did in game 1. He's a game changer. I don't care what anybody says. But that he could have that effect. He could absolutely have that effect. But Porzingis is also a known rim protector, right? Porzingis is also a known guy that is willing and capable of defending. Known for this. You're not going to have to ask him or have to motivate him to be at the rim blocking shots. Or if I'm not gonna block shots if I don't get rewarded. Like, he's gonna do that off the rip. I need Cat to start understanding that. Look, if you come over here, pecking order's a little different. How we approach the game is a little different. Your responsibilities, especially on the defensive end, are different. You cannot be the leak out guy. You cannot be on the. I need you back again. Like I said, cleaning the glass, protecting the rim, and get back to being that dominant guy you was if he's going to be with us.
I think to combine both of your points into why it's a hell no is because what kind of a team do you envision around Cat all ball in all sincerity, because you keep pointing to Porzingis, and it looks like, okay, if you drop him off on this team and just replace Randall with Cat, okay, I could. Now let's sit down and watch this take place. What team do you see surrounding that? Because after that, you can't afford Hartenstein, you can't afford Mitchell Robinson, you can't afford any one of these guys you're going after that with $60 million on the books now. So what replacements do you see around them? Because it's not just, and I think that's where the disconnect is coming. Regardless of how we feel as Cat as a player, even though you personally believe I don't like this man as a player, I don't see how he just comes to New York and that play style is surrounded by the same exact team. Because if it was, then it's a fair trade. But Porzingis is making $30 million a year. He's on a 2-year, $60 million deal with the Boston Celtics. That's why he fits with them as well. It's not just his style of play. It's the fact that Porzingis is a third or fourth option over there in Boston on a nightly basis. Sometimes he looks like a first option, but that's easy to do with Tatum on your team. And we got Brunson. We have a culture. So I'm with you with that part. And it could be a third or fourth. Cat could be a third or fourth option here. Fine. But now, who else is here with him? I don't see that. I don't see our visions aligning with his teammates.
Can I ask you a question, OG? This is for you. How do you feel like you can rely on Cat if he does become a Knick? Like the same way that you have confidence in Jalen Brunson, would you have the same confidence in Karl Anthony Towns as a Knick?
Yes, because he's going to be around Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart. I think, look at Porzingis. He was with Luka. It didn't work. Now look, a whole different mindset when he goes to a whole nother organization where the goal is championships. I think Karl Anthony Towns is in the same position. Minnesota ain't championship. Let's be realistic. Yeah, they had a great season. But now just imagine you come to the Knicks. The whole dynamic changed. You turn into now where there could be talks where you could be one of the great Knicks centers of all time. And then you're around Brunson, DiVincenzo, Josh Hart, that brotherhood, that leadership. Yes, I think he can do it. I think he can. And then now you have a good coach. Yes, I think he can.
So, but that's my thing.
That's a lot of confidence.
Yeah, because I love the fact that you said Porzingis was with Luka, then he goes to Boston, all of a sudden it's something else. That's exactly my point. He's a third or fourth option in Minnesota, acting like a second one. And now if you replace Porzingis with Karl Anthony Towns, you might get similar results because you shift his responsibilities on the offensive end.
No, don't do that. Him being a third or fourth option on the Knicks, I never said that. You was talking about Minnesota. He's not a third or fourth option on Minnesota.
No. What I'm saying is that
but that's what you said. That's what I
right. But what I'm trying to say is that if, in my opinion, since he's not reliable like that, it's like Porzingis. Porzingis, a lot of his unreliability came from he was injured. He was like with his confidence or whatever it is. You had him as the second option in Dallas, and all of a sudden it's like, well, that didn't work out. And all of a sudden he's in Boston, and they look a lot better. You want to bring Porzingis up now? Yeah, because his responsibilities didn't change. Yo, just play the back line a little bit. Come to the rim, you can protect a little bit or a lot. So, and he's able to deflect a lot of passes and just a lot of passing lanes. Porzingis' role changed in Boston, and his financial role changed. All that stuff matters because look at his teammates. Porzingis is playing with 2 all-defensive caliber guys, and really Tatum is another one on the low.
Okay, and we have all. Go ahead, Flea. I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna say. So is Cat though. Cat's playing with McDaniels and Gobert, 2 All-NBA defensive level players, right? So, go ahead, OG.
No, but then if he come to New York, you're playing with Josh Hart and OG and DiVincenzo, who are not slouches on defense. I'm not calling them Drew Holiday, but once again, Brunson, DiVincenzo, Josh Hart, OG, Cat. That's a beautiful starting 5.
Well, but that's what we disagree at, bro. Because now I think in Minnesota, he's part of that defensive nucleus. Don't get me wrong. 7 feet. What he did to Joker was amazing. Him and Nas Reed and McDaniels. But I think in New York, now you're giving him more responsibility on the defensive end, in my opinion, and the offensive end. The injuries, the financial stuff, I don't think he's proven to me that he can handle that much. It's not even mental, none of that. Bro, your body is your body too. But like, that's tough on somebody like him.
Okay, but why does he have to handle so much when OG and Brunson is there?
Because OG on the defensive end, you have OG Mitchell Robinson when he's healthy, Hartenstein if he can play 30 minutes, whatever it is. You have to play this role of being able to switch on a defensive end. Right now, Minnesota, it's a lot easier to do that with McDaniels, with Nas Reed, with Ant-Man. You have 3 or 4 dogs in the defense. And Gobert. We're forgetting about that. Like, as much as we want to go, we can say whatever we want about him. 82 games in the regular season, Gobert's a factor. In Boston, Porzingis has a lot of that help as well. We don't have 3 all defensive guys on the Knicks now. That's not true. So for Cat to be the lead guy on defense in New York, that's a tough responsibility. It's a heavy load for him, man.
I'd argue differently about our level of defenders. I know they haven't been awarded All NBA defensive, but I think OG, he's already made one of those teams. He's an All NBA defender. Josh Hart is an above average defender in the league. So is DiVincenzo. Like Mitchell Robinson went on the floor that's like
okay, but the effort, the coaching style. I'm not trying to knock our like we know what we have, but I'm saying, and is that Derek White, Drew Holiday, Tatum? Is it McDaniels, Cat, Ant-Man, Gobert? I don't think it's that level of defense consistently.
I don't think so.
Hold on. Right. Those guys are naturally. I don't want to say it's easier, but bro, they're built differently. That's the effort that Josh Hart. That's why we love Josh Hart. This is 90s basketball. You John Starks for us all over again. That Hart is crazy. You doing that? It's unbelievable what he's doing. Cat is unbelievable what he's not doing. Is my point. If he was here and you thought he was going to be some sort of Jaden McDaniels type all ball, then I'm with you. But I don't see that in him.
Listen, man, I respect both y'all opinions. Y'all keep throwing all these names out. Listen, man. them dudes been cool a year or two, man. Like, come on, man. This dude been doing what he been doing for 10 years, man. So, miss me, y'all keep saying, yeah, come on, man. Nas Reed, all right, they cool, but come on, man. We wasn't screaming none of their names out last year, year before.
No,
Get out of here with that.
We were last year. Nas Reed broke his hand after a dunk attempt. Jaden McDaniels, he punched the wall and broke his hand. We were saying that's the guy. Bruce Brown came out and said, yo, the most competitive team we played against last year, the toughest team was who? Who did the Denver Nuggets say was the toughest team they played last year? Playoff, not this year. The Minnesota Timberwolves, and they were missing their guys.
And they won one game, but they was the toughest to play against. Oh,
and they missed a game-winning shot. That would have been 2. See, that's crazy. Look, when it fit the all-ball agenda, it would have been A-OK.
These players kill me. Yo, the toughest team we played against was Minnesota, and y'all beat them 4-1. Man, get out of here with that, man. Dudes crazy. They ain't gonna say nothing disrespectful. Get out, man. Listen, no disrespect to none of them guys. But us as Knicks fans, this is our problem. We fall in love with our guys. We make it personal. And then now we will hold up making a big move because we are so invested. All I'm saying is we have to be careful. Me and Fabian, we had this talk the other day, Flea, where it's like, you know, when we bring up certain players, they don't fit Tibbs' coaching style, or how would it fit next to Julius Randle? So now that's where we at. Julius Randle and Tibbs is not Jordan and Phil Jackson. We have to be careful with that. I'm gonna just leave it at that.
I understand what you're saying.
But hold on. But because Flea, we are the type of fan base that if Luka Doncic was to come here, you know what some of us would say? I don't want Luka. He doesn't fit Tom Thibodeau's coaching style. So what? We ain't gonna get Luka. We have to be careful. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but I don't think Cat is that guy that you say that about. Like, he ain't the. I don't think. But we shall see. We shall see.
Okay.
Again, like I said, I'm not gonna be mad at it if that happens. We'll have to figure it out.
You want to know who's winning the poll? Or
what's the poll look like?
Oh, my bad. I was looking at something else. We got yes at 26% for Karl Anthony Towns on the Knicks. We have hell no at 23%, and we have no at 52%. So technically, 75% of that pie is no to Karl Anthony Towns on the New York Knicks. Thank you, All Ball TV commenters, for having the common sense and the dignity and the smarts that I know you're all capable of.
Okay.
Respectfully so, All Ball.
Same fan base and the same Knicks fan TV. Big shout out to him. I don't know what we would do with marketing. So these are just great players that we just gonna let go because of Julius Randle. I get
So
it.
now, no, not
I
just
get
Julius Randle, but now let's all right, real quick before we move on, we're talk about game 2. Realistically, Karl Anthony Towns' money is a big problem. Just realistically, right? So you like marketing. Marketing's money might fit better. Marketing's money might allow us to get more the players that you might want to add to the team. Would you rather see marketing in that or Karl Anthony Towns and making it harder on ourselves?
I'd rather see marketing because it's possible for us to get him and keep everybody. Like we probably could be able to keep Julius Randle. See, but then once again, you have platforms where they say, well, how is he going to mesh with Julius Randle? Bro, we worry about that later. If we have an opportunity to get a good player that could potentially be great, and it's what we need, a 7-footer that can stretch the floor, we go get him. So, of course, I would rather market it. It's cheaper. It makes more sense. And we will be able to probably keep everybody. So, of course, I'd rather that. But big shout out to my brother Flea, who's big on every year you have to upgrade, especially if you're trying to compete for a championship.
You have to.
So for me, I'm big on, and I've said it, we do owe Julius Randle a year to see how we look fully healthy. But it's still called business. If we have an opportunity where we think we can be better and upgrade, we do that, whether it's with him or without him. I am not letting Julius Randle hold up my team to compete for a title if we have an opportunity to. Once again, he's not Michael Jordan. He's not Kobe Bean Bryant. Stop it. Stop it. Come on.
Real quickly, what you think? Marketing makes more sense or cat with just everything in general? Because we can fantasize fantasy basketball we want to, but the salary cap got to be a factor.
If you had me to choose between the two guys, I would like marketing better for our team. I would rather him, younger. I think kind of brings some of the same things to the table, right? Can shoot it, right? Does rebound well. I think he's better defensively than I think given credit for. I don't think people realize he's a lot better defensively. So I wouldn't be mad at. I would rather marketing over Cat.
Right now.
Yes, me.
Yeah, especially with like we're gonna. I'll probably do it tomorrow morning with the Bobby Marks thing because it's kind of a long video, but he breaks down all the stuff, the aprons and the salary cap. That's if that was a board game, we would not play that. That's crazy Monopoly. That's a crazy hybrid Monopoly game, bro. That salary cap thing. It just is. It's not. It is. Everyone. I seen the comments. You guys think y'all slick in there, like we don't know what we're talking about. So go ahead, big man, get in the comments and break it down for us. You guys make no videos, just comments. That's what you do. You react to the reaction. Anyway, shout out, big happy birthday. I believe Robert Paulson's in the land down under.
Big RP, happy birthday.
Oh, man, happy birthday, Robert Paulson, my brother.
RP.
Have a great happy birthday.
Yes, sir.
So, but that means he's out there tomorrow. So June 10th is your official birthday because it's June 9th over here in the city of New York. Robert Paulson, thank you for commenting, always, cracking jokes on us, keeping the spirit alive in here. That's what we want, man. That's what we want. So we definitely shout out, big happy birthday to you, my brother. And you're 21 years old out there in the land down under. Appreciate you and hope you have a beautiful day. He did say he was having a dusty day, which is crazy. Forget about the dusty day. Look forward. About to have another 8 hours of greatness because you came upon this screen with us. It's over. John Infante's in the building. Marketing is cheaper. What is the price to give up for Cat? That's what we just talked about, man. It's a real big deal. Real quick, let's get into game 2 of the NBA Finals. The Dallas Mavericks, Boston Celtics, what we've seen. What are the biggest differences? I have a question for y'all because we know about game 1 a little bit. But with the Boston Celtics, what do you think is the biggest difference with that team from last year to this year to have them in the finals for number 1 and just feeling like, hey, oh boy, you think they might be on the verge of a sweep if they don't get their act together over in Dallas? What do you think is the biggest difference with the Celtics from last year to this season?
2 reasons. Porzingis and Drew Holiday. We have to start putting a lot of respect on Drew Holiday's name, including me. When we bring a point guard list for the season, even for careers, His name needs to be brought up more often, straight up and down. Yeah, he's not going to flash you. He's not going to be super great offensively. But what he does to the opposing guards, he makes it tough. And I love to see a guy that wants to play defense. He doesn't make the effort. He wants to play defense. Those are the two reasons. What Porzingis brings to that team, that size, stretching the floor, rim protector, and deadly from three. Listen, man, those are the main two reasons. Think about it. Tatum and Brown didn't elevate their game from last year to this season. They basically the same players. The addition of those two players is what it is. And if they can keep this crew together, this is what it's going to be for the next couple years. Boston is dangerous. They have all the talent. Then the emergence of Derek White on the defensive end and also offensively. And then you still have the old man Al Horford who can come off the bench. Remember, he's smart. He plays solid defense. And he can give you 15 to 20 on any given night. He can get hot from three. He exposes mismatches. He's going to put you on the block. So for me, listen, man, that team is what is constructed perfectly. They're built like how championship teams are built. So for me, it's two simple reasons: Drew Holiday and Porzingis. That is the reasons they are where they are at right now.
Flea.
I'm not going to disagree with OG. I think that's clear as day. You made two clear additions, like probably the two best additions over the summer in getting Drew Holiday and Porzingis. So everything.
Flea, can I say one more thing? I'm so sorry. I forgot. In Boston, having the cojones to get rid of Marcus Smart and elevate Derek White. That's the main reason as well. Sorry, Flea, I forgot to say that.
Yeah. I think all of those things that OG said was correct. Drew Holiday, Porzingis, the addition, I think that's the best addition from last summer. When they made those two additions, I said to myself, damn, this is going to be a damn good team. They ran over the league. I think they won 64 games, so that's a hell of a job by that team. I think, though, that we forget that Boston was in a Game 7 in the Eastern Conference Finals last year, and Jason Tatum got hurt in the first 2 minutes of that game. So they very well could be in 3 finals in 3 years, right? They could have very well been in the finals last season. So, yes, these two additions are great, but last season they were knocking at the door. They were about to walk down Miami down 3-0. They were down 0-3 and walk Miami all the way down to a Game 7, and Tatum got hurt in the first couple minutes. So they were a great team already. Again, like you said, Drew and Porzingis, great additions. That doesn't go unspoken on. Derek White has been phenomenal for them, like stepping up in terms of his offensive game, being able to be a reliable shooter, right? Not to mention who he is on the defensive end, a all-NBA defender, right? So I think those are great. And then I'm very critical of this dude, but I think it should be said about who and what Joe Mazzulla has done, right? He's a young dude. He's not very experienced. You know, we can critique, his lack of adjustments, right? Not being tested throughout the playoffs, or you can say whatever you want about the dude, right? But he is leading the ship. He is, doing what he has to do as a coach over there. So all I feel like he's done has gotten better, right? He's been able to lead this team. But we were a 2 seed and won 50 games. We were 14 games behind Boston in the Eastern Conference, right? They were the clear-cut number 1 team. So I think, like you said, OG, all the additions, but the mere fact of how Joe Mazzulla has grown as a coach. And then also, I think Brown and Tatum, when they are great, they figure out that the ball has to move. The ball has to move. Them playing in, your turn, my turn, ISO ball every possession, coming down and being indecisive on when is it time for me to be aggressive, when is it time for you to be aggressive. Like when they play basketball, moving the basketball, everybody's touching it. They hitting open threes, right? They were one of the best 3-point shooting teams in the league. They damn near hunted that line, but they shot it well, right? Because they got a lot of open looks, right? Because they moved the rock. When the rock stops moving, it gets stuck with Tatum. When it gets stuck with Brown, they're a completely different team. So, like, I think that was the one of the big differences to answer your question, Fabian.
Excuse me. I'm gonna double down on that because Joe Mazzulla, we were very critical about him. We've all read, the spicy talk about Ime Udoka, how he left Boston, what happened there. I think the polarization of him too, like everyone's picking and choosing about Ime Udoka, and then we kind of like, who the hell is the Joe Mazzulla guy? And a key thing that and it's a part of my mind on my thinking on how do you pick the right coach. And I think Joe Mazzulla he coached West Virginia. He has his own background why they chose him, but a major reason that he maybe couldn't have gotten through to the teammates, his players last year, he didn't pick his own coaching staff. Like in the offseason, he was able to pick his own coaching staff. He was able to pick up Sam Cassell and a guy by Sam Cassell, who, by the way, we always talk about him. Why doesn't he have a head coaching job? Right? He picked him up, and we know how big of a voice he is. We know Sam ain't no quiet guy. And the other guy is Charles Lee, who I've never heard of before. But Charles Lee was just picked up in the offseason by Joe Mazzulla, and Joe Mazzulla was able to choose him. Why? Because Charles Lee spent 10 years as an assistant coach under Budenholzer. He was on Budenholzer's team for the 3 of the last 4 years with the number one wins in the NBA. He's been to a championship. He won a championship.
Didn't Charlotte just hire him?
Exactly. And I was going to end with that. The Charlotte Hornets just hired Charles Lee.
Yeah.
So they didn't hire Sam Cassell yet and everything like that. But the things about a guy that I'm always going to ask about when it comes to hiring coaches and stuff like that is how does that work? Because I know it's a fraternity. I know it's about people, who and everything like that. But the makeup of these guys, Charles Lee went to Bucknell University. And at Bucknell, he went there on a half a scholarship. Like he didn't even get paid fully. He got paid through financial aid. They didn't offer scholarship till a year after Charles Lee was at Bucknell. So I don't know if things like that, like when I think of Draymond, second round pick, that underdog mentality, they say this guy, they think of the world of this guy. So this is the guy that the Charlotte Hornets just hired for to run the ship. You have a head coach as an assistant coach right now. That has to make a major difference on the Boston Celtics bench compared to when Joe Mazzulla was an associate coach along Ime Udoka when they made it to the championship. So that means Joe Mazzulla's been to 2 finals now and 3 Eastern Conference finals at minimum. And this guy, Charles Lee, he's been to 3 or 4 himself, and he's actually been a part of a finals winning team. That to me, I would have to believe is a major deal. And I disagree, Bo. I think Jaylen Brown did get better. Offensively, he looks different to me. Maybe he's taking advantage more of the one-on-ones. Maybe he has more one-on-ones because to your point of Porzingis being there. But Jaylen Brown, and defensively, you got Drew Holiday there alongside you instead of Marcus Smart. On the offensive end, you don't have Marcus Smart making these decisions. He's going to give up the ball. Drew Holiday he's going to give up the ball, go to the corner more often. So Jaylen Brown to me has, I don't want to say benefit is the wrong word, but he's definitely been opportunistic this year, way more than before. The left hand looks a little bit different. He's putting more pressure on the defensive end. And now that, Jason Kidd with that divide and conquer mentality, talking about Jaylen Brown's the best player on the team, that's going to be argued about for the very short future. But the fact that he's even in that conversation, again, it says a lot. You disagree, Flea?
Anybody that's Jaylen Brown's not better than Jason Tatum. Not even. I don't know. It's not a better player than Tatum. It's just not. It's just not.
Now, this is tricky for me, right? Because, I think I made a post about this a while ago, just trying to be funny. And for the last couple of years, it's like it's not even close, right? But now when you pay attention, he may not be better talent-wise. But I'm at a point now where if I'm starting my team, I may want Jaylen Brown over Jason Tatum.
How good is your team if Jaylen Brown's your best player?
No.
Good argument.
I agree. I'm not saying I would want him as my best player, but I don't know if Jason Tatum wants it. I see Jaylen Brown, man. I see him go after it every night, and I see, there's too many games where he's the aggressive one. So of course, Jason Tatum, that skill set, which I don't. Everybody goes berserk. I don't see it. Like how, of course, he's one of the better players in the NBA. But when he's 6'10" and he this and he that. Okay, cool. For me, he should be averaging 35 like Luka. He should be top 3 MVP candidate. He should be all these things. And it just seems like he doesn't do it. So I get what you're saying, Flea. But when guys like Jason Kidd and Drew Holiday double down, it's hard to go against those guys. Once again, is Jason Tatum a better basketball player? Okay, cool. But it just seems like night in and night out, Jaylen Brown looks like he wants it more. And I'm going to be honest, I don't know. It's tricky for me. Flea, go ahead. You
Like,
go.
I mean, like, if you're talking about, like, who's my thing has always been about Jason Tatum is the fact that he lacks, the demonstrativeness, the aggression in terms of how Jaylen Brown plays, right? If Jason Tatum had that, I think we will be talking about Jason Tatum as the best player in the world, right? That's how I would look at it, right? But he doesn't play like that. But I don't think that takes away or makes him any more closer to who Jaylen Brown is. Like, you take Jaylen Brown and put him in an isolated situation, I don't think Jaylen Brown is gonna be your best player and take you anywhere. I don't think that. I don't think that Jaylen Brown would ever be considered.
Flea, has Tatum proved that he can do that?
No, but I would be more confident in a guy that is 6'10" and does everything that he does and is as good defensively. See, and then we get this thing confused, like Tatum doesn't defend. Tatum probably one of the better defenders in the league. Just because he don't make these all-NBA defensive teams don't mean shit. There's a bunch of guys that didn't make those type of teams and were great defenders. Like, he's one of the better defenders in the league. I just think that, we get caught up in the fact that he is a little soft-spoken. He is, not as demonstrative as we want him to be. He don't look like and walk with that type of swag that Brown walks with. I love it. I'm not saying that takes away from it. I'm just saying I don't think we'll ever consider Jaylen Brown an MVP in this league. I don't think we'll ever, look at Jaylen Brown and say be the best player on our team and lead us to wherever. Just lead us. I don't think we'll ever see that. I think the two things that I just said, we can see Jason Tatum. At some point, they may break this up, so we'll see. But I think that's more likely with Tatum than it is with Brown.
I think who's often overlooked when I bring up like Jason Tatum is like T-Mac and Paul George and LeBron early on in his career, Lamar Odom, the super talented guys who could have been, in my opinion, like MVPs in the league at a certain point because of their passive aggressiveness. Dirk Nowitzki is often overlooked in that. Dirk, before he won that finals, I looked at him like, bro, I don't know what you're doing out there. The Miami Heat series, the first finals appearance that they both, D Wade and Dirk both made, D Wade was getting a lot of BS calls, yes, but he was aggressive. He didn't stop going to the basket. He made the referee say, yo, you're gonna call that. It's the finals. You better not call us against me. But Dirk never did that. Dirk lacked aggression. Dirk let Udonis Haslem, these guys stop him, or the game plan, whatever it was. And for me, I see Tatum doing that because Dirk, in my mind, was like, who the hell is better than this guy? He's 7 feet coming down court doing this. What the hell is that? All he was missing was the Luka push that he, the natural self-motivated kind of character. And then once we saw him finally break through, remember, he lost against the Golden State, but we believe Warriors. And Don Nelson had his blueprint figured out. No, we're going to put Steven Jackson on you. We're going to body you. He knew his flaw, but it was him by himself. He didn't have a Jaylen Brown along his side. Like, to me, Jaylen Brown, where he can win over Jason Tatum are the intangibles. He has the Jalen Brunson effect. He has the leadership qualities that Jason Tatum might need next to him. That Dirk was. It was always like you had Steve Nash, then you had this guy, you had a whole bunch of, then you had Avery Johnson, then you went to with Carlisle. there was always a floundering or rotating leadership quality there. And what to your guys' point, I don't think on the court Jaylen Brown's better than him, because defensively, I think Flea, I think Tatum can guard more players, better one-on-one and team defender, switching everything. Jaylen Brown can get lost sometimes on a switch. Tatum is better, but he needs what Dirk needed for those first 7, 8 years in his career, and I think they both cherish it. I think when we look back on it, we're gonna go, not look back, we're looking forward like, damn, this is scary. You got two guys, studs, and one of them is a leader.
I think at one point, me and OG, I think, and him, a lot of people, there was a conversation of, do you break them up? I think he posed that question a few months back. Yeah. And for me now, it's like, we might look at Brad Stevens like we look at Sam Presti. We look at Sam Presti letting, not allowing that Harden, Westbrook, Durant thing to actually grow. We saw that it's, they get to the finals, but we didn't see them, continue on and see what we could do with that. Like, don't be that guy where you have something right here and you get frustrated because you don't reach the pinnacle as fast as you want. But remember, and then break them up, and it's like.
But remember, Flea, I was saying, if they don't win a championship, eventually you're gonna have to break them up. Now, remember, if they win multiple championships, then you keep them together. But remember, I basically was saying you can't keep getting to the promised land and losing. So that's what
they win. So they win this championship. You keep this thing together.
You keep it together until they don't win, of course, because the ultimate goal is championships. Now, if they don't win a championship, you got to break them up because there's something there that you can't get over the hump. But let me just say this. Jason Tatum needs to be careful. If Jaylen Brown goes out and wins finals MVP, there's going to be some rumblings, man, about who's the best player on that team and who's going to be the leader and the number one option. Of course, they're not probably going to believe that because hopefully their relationship is great. But from the outside, Jason Tatum better be careful, man. Because that's what can break up duos as well.
That I agree with that.
They are young. We saw it with Shaq and Kobe. It was crazy. I mean, we talking about they're not Shaq and Kobe, and Shaq and Kobe went through this. You know what I'm saying? Like, Shaq and Kobe was top 3 in the league, top 5 at times, top 3 in the league. They were top 2 damn near sometimes, and they went through this. They said, "Yo, Kobe said, I don't care. I want the team for myself. I can't win without you. Watch this." We saw it. We saw what egos can do. It is what it is. But I disagree, all ball, because I think Jaylen Brown is different, bro. This guy is really the not the evil genius, the smooth genius. Everything we're hearing about him is like, yo, who is this guy? He's the most interesting man on the planet. Sorry, Flea, I thought you were trying to say something.
I wasn't, man. I wasn't. I'm excited to see what this game 2 looks like tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, it's amazing.
It already started?
Yeah, Luka's going crazy.
Oh, man, listen, we got 2 minutes on it, but this game to me predicts if Dallas gets swept or not. Dallas loses this game, they're getting swept.
Even though
they're
at home?
Swept?
Yeah, or they get one game. This is a must win. Yeah, this is a must win. Must win.
I disagree with that. I think that's Boston holding court.
Yeah, swept is a little big for me. Pause. Like, I don't know about swept, but
4-1.
Yeah, I said tonight that I see Dallas winning this game, just off the mere fact that I didn't think that they was going to play the same way that they played the other night, right? Like, not hitting shots and Boston being hot from 3 early on. From what I'm seeing so far, they look like they've been able to maintain like that early onslaught that Boston, gives teams in that first quarter where they kind of punch you in the mouth early. So Dallas got to win tonight, but I don't think they get swept if they don't win tonight.
Yeah, I agree. I think Dallas is hot. Come on, high IQ from the coaching staff, front office, the 2-star players. I seen, the game just started. Luka's going aggressive as I thought he would. He's not playing any game, so I can't see a sweep. I see this being a battle. Even if it is a sweep, they're gonna go down swinging. It's gonna be they're not. I don't see Dallas just giving it up like this. And they want to push for a close game at all times and really put the pressure on Tatum. I think that'll be to all balls point. If you got close games and Tatum's not showing up then and how you say he's relying on his jump shot too much, he's being content. That'll put more pressure on a Tatum versus Brown thing. Like, yo, we're right here. All we're missing is you, bro. We're missing that little. He had what was it, like a 36 point, 10 rebound, 0 turnover game against the Pacers. Tatum is insane, but it's crunch time. It's when they need him most, and he's the only guy on the team that could really do that. It's those crunch time moments. So y'all, oh boy, if it's a sweep, it's gonna be a tough one. I don't see it being like that other game the other day.
Kyrie Irving look a little different tonight.
All right.
Well,
it's only, I just look, it's only a 2-point game, so it ain't like Dallas is up big and nothing like that. It's the first quarter. Let's see what happens. All I'm saying is this game right here tells it all. Dallas lose this, they're done. They're done. Because all both got to do is split in Dallas, and they done. So listen, this is the game. This is the game.
2 finals teams getting it on. Dallas Mavericks versus Boston Celtics. Even though you see Knicks Rehab up here, we talk about it all, baby. We talk about it all. Are we live?
Big Flea, never the little one.
Y'all crazy.
All TV.
They scared, but I'm not.
They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.